Everyone, I just want to take a second and I want to welcome you to Success with Jess. This is our first episode. I am so excited for this episode. I've been working on it really hard for a really long time. There's a lot of people involved. My whole family was just here and they all just left the room so we can record this. And this episode is going to be amazing. I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. And I want to tell you that we're coming to you live from Tarzana today because, as you know, my family travels a lot and we are going to be on the road a lot, and I'm going to be coming to you from all kinds of crazy fun places. And let's get this podcast started. I mean, here we go, you guys. Success with Jess. Woo! Yay! Everybody loves Jess. We're going to get this podcast started today, but first I'm going to introduce you to my friend Miranda.
Hey, everyone.
She is going to be joining us on this podcast every single time, and she's my girl right now. So she just moved to LA. Welcome her to LA, and let's get this podcast started. Miranda, what are we doing today?
All right, so we're here. We're in Tarzana. We know your family's present on social media. You've got the family TikTok.
Yeah.
And now you are starting a podcast.
I mean, here we go, right? Yeah. Like we were TikTok, and now we're podcasting. I mean, we're kind of YouTubing. Like we're really making this happen. I have so much fun talking to other moms when we're on the road. Even if they're like fans of JoJo, like they still want to talk to me. And I love talking to them. And I thought, why not do a podcast? You know, I could talk to a lot of people. I could help people. I could give people advice. I could make people laugh. I could give people an inside look at what our life is really like. Because to be honest, I love my life. You know, like I am seriously like a girl from Nebraska out here in California living the dream. I wake up every day and I'm like, what is even happening with my life right now? And I just get up and do whatever the day needs. And so we started this podcast just to bring people along mostly.
Awesome. How does the family feel about you sharing some stories?
You know, I think my family's really excited. I know JoJo is definitely excited, and I kind of wanted to make sure like this was the right timing with her and everything, you know, that was going on. And now she's 17 and she's taken over a lot of things herself. You know, like I don't have to run all her social media. I don't have to reply to every email. Like she really is taking like some action, and I love it so much. So it's opened up a couple hours every day for me basically. And I'm like, I got to do something. I want to start this podcast. I've been wanting to do it. And JoJo was super supportive, super, super supportive. So that was amazing. And Jaden, you know, like today was my professional photographer. He was like following me around and telling me to put my headphones on, and he wanted to like take pictures of me all day. And he's like, I know I'm annoying you now, but you're going to love this later, Mom. And I'm like, you're so right, Jaden, like right there, supportive. Last night, I was like making some notes for this podcast, and Jaden sat down. He's like, so what are you talking about tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, you know, I got my outline and stuff. And he's like, well, can I have some input? Can I help you? And I'm like, of course you can help me. And so we like went through one episode, and I thought like he would be done. He's like, okay, now let's do the next episode. And I'm like, sweet, like let's do it, you know? So he's totally into it. Tom, he literally, I feel like I'm saying literally a lot today already. He literally wants to do like a podcast too now. You know, he's like, I could use your set and I could talk about chiropractic and all this. And he's given me all these quotes because he listens to a lot of books on tape, and he is like a quote master. Like if there was like a spelling bee for quotes, he would win. And I'm like, Tom, don't confuse me because I'm not a quotey person. You know, I just like say what's on my mind, and he's giving me all these quotes, and I couldn't even tell you one of them right now. So that's my family. They were all up here. I think secretly they wanted to like stay in and listen. And I was like torn, but I feel like I just need to do this by myself right now. Like maybe we'll have a week where like one comes on at a time, and, you know, maybe we'll have JoJo be a guest or something. And I know Jaden for sure wants to be a guest, and I'm guessing Tom probably does too.
Yeah. So you posted on social media asking your followers if they have any questions for you.
Yeah.
Lots of questions about like, how did you get here? Like, look at your life. How did it become this?
Isn't it crazy? It's so crazy. To be real honest with you, it was a lot of hard work. A lot of work. Like when I look back and I think about like what has happened, that's like the first thing that like consumes my body is like how much work it was. And like if I had another daughter, could I do all that work again? And the answer to that is yeah, like totally. Come on. But, it was so much work. I put JoJo in dance because I was a dance teacher hoping, praying she would love it. And she did. She didn't love it as much as probably I loved it, but she loved it a lot. And actually I would be driving her to ballet privates and she would say to me, you can take me to this private lesson, but I'm not going to learn anything today. And I was like, I'm still taking you. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I could put this money someplace else, right? But I just took her and we laugh about it today. And she just, wanted to play with her friends, but she loved to dance. She loved to be on stage, and she just didn't like ballet privates. So we did a lot of dance competitions, a lot of them. I mean, super dance mom sitting right here at this desk. Like, if you can think about a dance competition, like I have been there. I've judged probably over 500 dance competitions. Like, dance was our life. And the show came out, AUDC, season 1. And I sent JoJo's audition tape in. I didn't even get an email back. I got nothing, okay? 0. Like, hi, we are not interested in your kid. Delete. Don't even send an email back. All right, whatever, okay? So then season 2 comes out, and I'm like, here we go again. I'm going to send my email. So I sent my email with JoJo Solo, and I got a phone call less than an hour later. And they were like, when can you do like a Skype? This was when Skype was super popular. Literally, I'm running laps around my house. I'm so excited. Like, we're going to do this Skype. And we do this Skype, and the kid I'm Skyping with is brilliant. He literally was like talking to my godson, who's one of my favorite people in the world. And he made us feel so comfortable, and we were ourselves. And, they're like, oh, well, this is awesome. We'll get back to you in like 4 weeks. I'm like, 4 weeks? Like, it's so hard to wait, like the whole thing was just like waiting and waiting and waiting. And then in like probably 6 weeks, they were like, hi, here's some questions. Could you fill these out? Well, these questions were like essay questions, like major questions. They took days to fill out, right? And so then you filled those out and you didn't really like hear anything or nothing really happened. And then all of a sudden one night they're like, we want you to come to New York City for a face-to-face audition. And we're like, oh my God, we're going to New York. JoJo had never been there. Like, so excited. So we went to New York and we auditioned face-to-face and we went home. We didn't know if we'd made the TV show or not. And probably another 4 weeks went by and we literally were at the homeschool store buying books and we got the call. We were sitting in the car and we got the call that JoJo was going to be on her first TV show, AUDC. And honestly, we didn't go into the homeschool store and buy books after that. We went next door to the sporting goods store and designed Team JoJo hoodies. Like, that was our like day, it was like incredible. And like, it was just unreal. Like, I never cried. JoJo never cries. And she just cried in the car. She was so excited. And, we went to California to be on that show knowing nothing. Didn't know anything. Not a clue. Probably should have been kicked off the first week because we were so stupid. I mean, we didn't know anything. And they were trying to like start fights. They'd be like, hey, don't you think that girl's wearing high heels and she shouldn't? I'm like, dude, I'm worried about JoJo and her dance. I don't know about this girl in high heels. Like, I don't even care. But then, I kind of got the memo that they wanted the mama drama, type stuff. And so once that kind of clicked, you kind of make some things happen. And it's crazy what you'll do for your kid, actually. But, we fought our way to 5th overall on that show. And that was amazing. And then we went home. We went home to Nebraska. Didn't really do much after that. JoJo danced some more. And she always kind of wanted to be on Dance Moms. And then, we talked to the producers a little bit and time went by. And then I ended up starting a competition dance team in Omaha. And we were at our first convention, Nuvo, in Omaha. First class. I'm sitting down. I got this new team. My phone rings and it's Scott from Dance Moms. Hey, can you come to Pittsburgh on Monday? It's Saturday, you guys. All right. So I'm like, sure. Yeah. We'll be there. He's like, it's for a week. We're just going to come have you do an episode and it's going to be for a week. all right, we're coming. I'm like, God, what am I going to tell these moms? Like, this is not cool. So we go to Dance Moms. We think it's going to be for a week. And, they told me, of course, they loved JoJo, but it was me they were worried about. And they didn't think I could stand up to Abby. And I was scared of Abby. And my God, I was scared of Abby. Like they were right on, like 100%. And clearly they ended up liking us both, So we stayed at Dance Moms for a really long time. And, we came to California with Abby, and Abby did not want us on her team. She did not. She would not let JoJo show her face in a dance, the first dance. She would not let JoJo be in the group dance. Like, she just didn't want JoJo on the team. But luckily, the producers did, so the odds were in our favor, it was good. So, and then slowly but surely, Abby did fall in love with JoJo. And, it takes time. It takes time if you don't love somebody to come around and actually love them. And I love that about the relationship with JoJo and Abby. It wasn't, oh, I love you, you're fabulous. It was like you had to earn that friendship and that love, and that was incredible. But then I decided Dance Moms wasn't really the place for us anymore. I didn't like some of the things that were happening, and I just didn't feel like, as a mom, you kind of get these feelings, and I just felt like it was our time to go. And actually, JoJo had a ballet duo that week, and I was a little annoyed with that, to be honest with you. I'm like, come on, just throw me a bone, for crying out loud. I'm trying to, like, in my head, make this work, and they gave us the ballet duo, and I'm like, this is enough. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, done. I loved the producers. I loved the show. I loved Abby, but it was, I knew, like, it was just like in my heart and in my stomach and in my back and in my mind. Like, I just knew we had to move on. So we started talking to Nickelodeon. We went home to Nebraska, and she wanted to be with Nickelodeon. She actually wanted to be with the Disney Channel too, but she liked Nickelodeon more. She thought they were more quirky, more fun, more trendy with like YouTube and social media. And so the goal was to get with Nickelodeon, and goal achieved. I mean, that was like, we went home and they called and they wanted to talk, and we came to California and made a deal and went to the Global Licensing Expo. Like, it was like so fast. I can't even tell you how fast it was. And then there was so much negotiation back and forth. I literally was like, we have to stop negotiating. Whatever they come back with is what we're taking, because we have to move on again. Like, I just knew we couldn't live in this negotiation world for better or forever. And, I don't know, maybe we don't have the best deal, but we have a deal. That's kind of what I told JoJo. And here we are today, like 2.5 years later with Nickelodeon. Unreal, how exciting it's been. Their merchandise department is incredible. We've met some amazing people there. They've done so many amazing things. It's so fun to see the kids wearing JoJo bows and wearing JoJo t-shirts and JoJo shoes and drinking JoJo's juice that she invented on YouTube. I mean, she was able to be a part of so many TV shows on Nickelodeon. School of Rock, the Thundermans, Make It Pop. She did a movie Blurt with them. They have a wonderful music department. We met with Colleen Fitzpatrick and Doug Cohen, and they literally made her a pop star. They helped her get with good writers and good producers. And Colleen, being a young performer herself, she knew what it was like, and she was a great, great mentor to JoJo. And we then hooked up with some good choreographers. Like, we literally were at Sally's Beauty Supply one night, and we ran into Richie Jackson, who was a judge on AUDC, and he was like, "Hey, JoJo," and we're like, "Hey," like, you live in LA, you don't run into people and he was like, "What you doing now?" And we're like, "Oh, music videos and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, I'd love to work with you." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. He works with Lady Gaga. He doesn't want to work with us." Like, you never think those kind of people want to work with you. And sure enough, we had a music video called DREAM, and we called him, and he was in, and he did Run Run Rudolph for Kelly and Ryan, and then fell in love with him even more after those two projects, and then asked him to be the creative director for the tour. And then we went on a U.S. tour, and then we went to the other side of the world, to Australia, to the United Kingdom. I mean, this tour, we were like praying to sell the tickets in the first round, you know, we're like, oh, we hope these sell. Like we got to do this. We got to do this. Like we want to do this for the fans. And the tickets went on sale and it was like bananas, like crazy. And then we ran out of tickets. Like there wasn't enough and they worked as fast as they could to add more dates and those kept selling. So we added more dates and then we may have argued about going to Australia, but you do know who won that argument because we went to Australia, you know. There might have been some people that didn't want us to go to Australia, but Jess and JoJo wanted to go. So, you know, we got to Australia and then same kind of thing with UK. We fought and we got to UK and man, she was the youngest person ever to perform at the O2. How does that happen? Like, and sell it out. Like, it's unreal. Like, we're so fortunate. But what I didn't tell you, I told you all like the glory of the story. You know, I didn't tell you the nights I didn't sleep, the nights we stayed up all night working, but that's a whole nother situation, you know? So yeah, that's how we got here. Yeah. Amazing, right?
I'm curious what life was like when it was just you and JoJo kind of trying to get your feet on the ground here in LA. Was life as glamorous as it is now?
No. So when we were on Dance Moms, they actually took pretty good care of us, right? We had a 1-bedroom apartment. They rented us a car and they paid us very well. So that was kind of cool. But the 1-bedroom apartment thing was like, well, what do you do? Do you sleep with your kid who's like not used to sleeping with you? And like, as a mom, I don't really want to sleep with my kid, you know? And as a kid, she probably didn't really want to sleep with me. And so I was like, okay, what can I do here? I'm like, all right, JoJo, we're going to make the living room your bedroom. And she's like, yeah, this is going to be cool. I got the TV. And I'm like, we'll go get you really cute bedding. We're going to make it awesome. Then all of a sudden she looks at me and she's like, what about my clothes? Where am I going to put my clothes? And she kind of started to get like sad and emotional. Like she's thinking of her bedroom at home. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, what would Pippi Longstocking say here in this situation? I'm like, JoJo, look at the kitchen. Look at all these drawers and cupboards. You can have them all because I'm not cooking. We're eating every meal out, you know? So I gave JoJo the kitchen for her clothes and her stuff, and the living room was her bedroom, and we had the best time. It was unreal. Like, we had so much fun. We had pool days. We went to the Grove. We shot Dance Moms. They took dance classes. That's when we filmed Boomerang. And then, you know, we just lived at the Grove and it was amazing. And then Dance Moms was over. We decided to leave and we went home, and then we had to come out to Nebraska and do our own thing. And we started looking at apartments out here. We knew we had to come. Once we knew we were going to go with Nickelodeon, we were like, we got to move. And I'll tell you, when I told Tom that we were moving, he cried. And JoJo was like, what are we going to do? And I was like, we're going to not talk about it today, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. You know, we're just going to take a day and we're going to let him be sad, and we're going to acknowledge that. And she was cool with that. And so then Tom worked early in the morning, and then he called me the next day over lunch, and he said, I found you guys an apartment. I know, right? And I was like, well, you did? And he was like, yeah, it's Lex on Orange. And, you know, I think it's going to be a good fit because Nickelodeon is orange and it's a new complex, and I think you guys should live there. And it was beautiful and we loved it, and that's where we lived, and he found it for us. So after being super sad, he like just took that time and pulled himself together, and we moved out here. And that was fun. JoJo and I did a vlog channel then, and that was a lot of fun. I kind of felt sorry for her because she wanted to be like Jake and Logan Paul, right? So she wanted to be like cool, but then she started a vlog channel with her mom. And I was like, hey man, that's cool for me, but like, I don't know about you, man. It's not a little Jake and Logan thing, but I'll do what I can. And so, you know, we had so much fun doing the vlog channel. And I mean, I loved it. I loved just having the one-on-one time with her out here. For people to like put it into perspective, like our house payment in Nebraska was probably $1,200, we'll say, a month. And then an apartment out here, a 2-bedroom apartment, was $3,500 a month. And that's not your utilities. That's not your parking. That is like unreal. Like, it's crazy. That was like a huge realization for us. Like, our apartment was going to be almost 3 times really what our house payment was.
So while you and JoJo are out here in LA, doing the grind, doing the hustle, building what you have now, what are Tom and Jaden doing back in Omaha?
I love this. So the reason why Tom and Jaden didn't move out here with us is because we wanted Jaden to finish school. He loved his school. Even though JoJo had always been homeschooled, every year I would kind of give him a little hard time, be like, hey, just homeschool with us. And he always chose to go to school. So we didn't want to take going to school away from him. So I left when he was in 6th grade. So he finished elementary school and then he finished junior high. I missed 8th grade graduation. I missed the clap out where all the kids like walk out of school and the whole school claps for them. I missed so much. I can't even tell you how many things I missed, but he was happy. He wanted to be at his school, you know, and he would like FaceTime me and I would try to like do the best I could, but you know, we missed a lot. I signed him up for high school. I took him and I signed him up. So I did get to go to that. I never picked him up from high school. I never went to a homecoming. I was never there for prom. Like I missed so much. And then finally his junior year, in the middle of the year, I realized I was missing out on all of his things and he was missing out on all of our things, because that's when we started traveling kind of the world. And then I felt like Tom, as JoJo's dad, was missing out on her things. And so we were in New York and JoJo was doing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and we were having the best day. And I was like, this is a great day to tell him, you know, I was like, you know, Jaden, I've been thinking, and Tom didn't even know I was doing this. And I was like, you can either finish school at semester, you know, you can go back and finish after Christmas break, or you can quit right now and we're going to homeschool you and you're going to move to California. And he goes, so you're putting the hammer down? And I was like, yeah, I'm putting the hammer down. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the hammer down, right? And he's like, okay, I'm going to finish that semester, Mom. And that was it. That was like, I'm like, why didn't I do this 2 years ago? You know, like as important as it was to him, I think getting our family back together was important to everyone. And they moved out in January. And as happy as we were, it was kind of an end of an era for us and them too, you know, because I'm sure they had their bro time like we had our girl time. And, you know, there wasn't going to be as much time for me to spend with JoJo because I had to spend it with, I get to spend it, I should definitely say, with everyone else. So it was an adjustment. And I would say the adjustment of moving back in together, surprisingly, was very hard. Very hard. And I think Tom selling his chiropractic office and moving out here essentially to be a Instagram buddy and a YouTube filmer, you know, like he didn't really have a purpose. I think that was hard for him. And it just was like a whole perfect Patty. I thought they were just going to move out and everything was going to be fine and tomorrow was going to be a new day. And that wasn't the case. It wasn't easy, but it was so worth it. And now we are where we are and it's clockwork. Like my family is just, it feels like we were never apart for all those years.
So JoJo's 17 now.
Yes, Miranda. She's 17. Can you even believe that?
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
How old was she when you started this whole journey?
She was.
Favorite word?
My favorite word is journey. Yes. JoJo was 8. We started this journey. Yes. Okay. Oh, JoJo told me not to use my YouTube voice, by the way. I feel like that was it. Woo! I just hit the mic with my chin. There's probably makeup all over it now. JoJo was 8 when we started AUDC and she turned 9 while we were there. So we have been doing this for 9 years. Wow. That's a long time. Oh, wow.
So thinking back to Jess.
Oh, yeah.
When she was 17 years old.
Okay.
What did she think her future was going to be?
You know, 17-year-old Jess only loved to dance. I was like on my school's dance team. I taught like dance classes at the local studio. Like I wanted to move to California. I wanted to be a professional dancer. Okay. I didn't even know what a professional dancer was. I had never even been to LA. Like I was so sheltered. Thank God I didn't move out here. Could you imagine this girl from Nebraska? Like, I want to be a professional dancer. The agents would be like, no. Okay. So I opened up a dance studio. I got out of high school and I either wanted to go to school to be a children's doctor, something at the hospital, you know, or I wanted to open up a dance studio. And literally one day I was like, Mom, I'm going to go find a place and open up a dance studio. And she was like, yeah, right. Okay. So I went and I found a place and I opened up a dance studio. It was the best thing I ever did. I made so many good friends. I'm like, so many kids came through my life. And now with Facebook, they all came back into my life, you know? And this girl lately, about a week ago, she wrote me a Facebook message and she's like, you know, you were my dance teacher and you're my forever friend. And I was like, oh my God, like people love their dance teacher. So I think choosing that path was the best thing I ever did. And it also allowed me to see what kind of parent I didn't want to be. You know, I mean, that's a whole can of worms right there. But I literally would there is that word again. I would look at moms and I would think, that's how I want to be. That's how I don't want to be. And that's how I molded my life and how I raised my kids. And then I found myself doing the same thing with JoJo when she was younger. If a child was misbehaving, like at a dance competition, if they were being mean to their mom, she'd be like 4 and I'd be like, if you ever treat me like that. And I would just like look away. I'd be like, don't ever. That's so ugly, you know? And I just would just like put it in her head. And to this day, she's never been ugly to me. She's never been mean. So, I mean, opening up a dance studio was fabulous. And I had this family at my studio. They were the first real cool dance people that came to my studio. The little girl's name was Lara and the mom's name was Debbie, and she was cool, and the kid was phenomenal, and the mom was so sweet, and I did tons of private lessons with this little girl, and I got to be real close with her. And her mom was having a party that night. One night, it was the night that Mike Tyson bit that guy's ear off, Evander Holyfield. She had a party and she's like, I want to invite you and I want to invite this other chiropractor guy. And I was like, all right, I'll date a chiropractor, right? And that night I said to her daughter, don't leave my side the whole night. Just hang out with me, right? Because I was so nervous. I had to like meet this chiropractor. And I literally had her little girl and her little friends were like walking around with me. And this other little girl's name was Rachie. This Rachie and Lara was like, just stay by me all night, guys. And they did, of course. And said to Tom, I'm like, do you want to see my dance studio? That was like my pickup line. Lame, but apparently they had already shown him. I used to dance in my recitals. They had already shown him some dance videos. And yeah, I took him to my dance studio. And then he called me back. So opening up the studio really helped me meet my husband, you know, and then brought me my family. And every time I see this Debbie and our daughter Lara, I'm like, I just thank God for them. You know, like she left me a message on my answering machine. Do you even know what an answering machine is, Miranda?
I mean.
Okay, yeah, you don't. It's fine. So she left me a message and I had to play. And I was like, ooh, this mom sounds fun. You know how sometimes you don't even call people back, you know? What if I hadn't called her back? My whole life would be different. And what's interesting about meeting her is she heard about me through someone I had helped try out for dance team on high school that I barely knew. And she said I was really nice to her and I helped her make it. And it's crazy how helping that one girl led to all of this. Like unreal. So 17-year-old Jess, yeah. I did have brown hair, by the way. I did have brown hair. I shopped at the Limited. I loved like New York seltzer, like the drink. Oh my God. I love nachos, like chips and cheese. People in California don't even know what cheese queso is out here. Like, if anyone moves to California and you want to open up a business, open up a queso restaurant, okay? Because all the Midwest people that move here need queso, like immediately. And, you know, I love nachos. My parents owned a 7-Eleven. And so I used to like work there, right? Yeah, like what? Mind blown. Yes, my parents owned a 7-Eleven of all things. It was so fun. My mom and I used to work there together. It was awesome. And my dance studio was like right behind it. So I'd like help my mom at 7-Eleven. I'd price like the candy and stuff. And then I would like walk over to dance class and walk back over. It was great.
And now you have a 7-Eleven in your house.
Oh my God, I just realized that. What even? Okay, yes. JoJo doesn't even know that.
Right?
I don't think Tom knows that. Oh, mind blown. Seriously, JoJo always was like mind blown. Yeah, I have a 7-Eleven. And it's funny because I was looking for a really cute cup for today. And Tom was like, how about I go to 7-Eleven and get you a big gulp? And you can write some of that.
Maybe next time.
I mean, maybe. I was looking at J-Lo's cups and I was like, I need a cup like J-Lo, right? And we didn't have time to get to it today. I will have a J-Lo cup in a couple weeks. Don't worry. And he really wanted me to get a big golf cup. He was trying to be so helpful. And I was like, it's okay, Tom. I'm good. So you guys, this podcast today, I mean, I loved every single second of it. I hope you guys did. And I hope it just kind of like taught you a little bit about who I am, where I came from. I didn't tell you one secret, that I worked at a fast food restaurant called Runza. Yeah. If you don't know what Runza is, you should probably plan a trip to the Midwest and have Runza. So I worked at Runza. You know, I think that's one of the things that compelled me so much to do this podcast, is because fortunately I have been able to experience so much, you know, from working at fast food to working at a daycare to working at the hospital to owning a dance studio to moving to LA to moving back to Nebraska. Like, my life has been so crazy fun. And if I can help any parents make their life better, like, that's what this is for. And, you know, maybe your life isn't crazy, but maybe you just want to know how to help your kids succeed more in school, or how to get more out of their dance class, or how to get along better with their friends. You know, I guess I just want to say I'm here to help. So, you know what, you guys, like, obviously you can find me everywhere on social media. Like, I am my daughter's mother, you know, find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. I am everywhere. I am so excited for this podcast. And you know what? Connect with me on social media. Ask me your questions. I want to talk about everything you guys want to know. And thank you so much for joining this first podcast. And we'll see you next week.